I know that the better way to do it would be probably how I do some other content, but the fact of the matter is, I wanted to know that people would pay attention, that people would focus, and that people would understand what I'm saying. And the fact of the matter is, I figure that the only way I could do that is having something playing in the background. Or that the better way to do that would be to have something playing in the background. And that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. Because I figured, again, the best way to do that would be having something playing in the background. I've been thinking about this for. I've probably been thinking about this for. Um, at least. At least a month, maybe more than that. And, the fact of the matter is, what I've been thinking about is the fact that on April 10th, you know, if there's one thing that I have a hard time of vocalizing, it is, it is vocalizing importance of, you know, vocalizing importance. I just have a very hard time of doing that, and it's just, I mean, even in the position that I'm in right now, we're a minute or almost 2 minutes in, and I feel like I want to, start over and say, you know, perfect what I want to say, but I don't think there's a perfect way to say what I want to say because I have, and this, I've used this exaggeration or this explanation for multiple things, multiple ideas, multiple times. But the fact of the matter is, I have not almost given up on something and then gone back to it like I have with the Twitch project. And, the Twitch project is something that I took inspiration from Bright Sun Films because Bright Sun Film did a documentary on uh, Six Flags New Orleans, which if you have not, taken a look at Before the Storm or do not watch Bright Sun Film or people of that variety, then I mean, it's it's amazing content to watch on YouTube. If you're not one for gaming content and you're looking for other content, it's the perfect content to watch. But I'm not here to push other people's content. I'm here to push my own. And the fact that on April 10th, after 2 years of building up a documentary and putting together my own documentary, it's come together. And the fact of the matter is, I was looking at it and I looked at it from the perspective, I was looking at his hype to his documentary, and I was looking at it from the perspective of how can I do something like that? And if I did, what could I do to make it mine? You know what I mean? What can I do to make it mine? And the only thing that came to mind was Twitch. Because at that time, there was nothing more important to me than streaming. And I mean, is it scary shit looking at something, building something to a point, and then getting it to a point where you're ready to let it go and let it be, where other people have the opportunity to pacify their opinions and point out criticisms they may have of what you've spent so much time building? It is scary shit. But now I would say the reason for the Twitch project is because I wanted to do a documentary and I thought that the best decision I could make, the best idea would be a documentary on something that I, even after 2.5 years, still know very little about, but I am proud to be a part of the community that I'm a part of because of how much it has improved the sanctity of my life being a part of that community. And I know there's a bit of a toxicity with the platform. There's a bit of toxicity. There's toxicity in everything nowadays. There's a toxicity in everything nowadays. And the fact of the matter is that toxicity exists because of people, of just how people see things. I'm not going to say it's because of people. I'm just going to say it's because of how people see things. And, if people saw things differently, then maybe the toxicity would be limited, but the toxicity is there because of expectations. Because people have expectations and because of mindset. And that's one of the reasons why I decided to do the documentary. It is because, one of the reasons why I decided to do the documentary was because I wanted to try and help people like me looking at Twitch from a different perspective and seeing the platform for, like, from the outsider's perspective. You know what I mean? And if you saw the platform from the outsider's perspective, then you're seeing it from the perspective of somebody who looks at it as, oh, I can do that. I can hit live on a daily basis and just play a video game. But it's a lot more goes into that. A lot more goes into that. A lot more goes into that than just hitting live every day and, playing a video game. You unknowingly put pressure on yourself. You unknowingly put pressure on yourself because you have to know, are these people watching? Are these people going to stick around? How many people are watching it? What's going on? This, that, and the other thing. And it's just like, you can't just sit there and think, I can just sit here, and play this game and do this and do that and be good. And it's just like, you could think you could think, oh, well, I could just do this, that, and the other thing. And it's like, yeah, you can. That doesn't mean people are going to be watching, but you could try. It's that simple. And honestly, how it came together, how it started coming together was the fact that I actually asked for help. It was the fact that I actually asked for help. And I used the community. I used the community that I had built to help piece together the documentary. And, the reason why I came up with the Twitch project is because I was just thinking about a name. And the struggle was, over the last 6 months, the one thing I kept thinking about when the documentary was done is, how the heck am I going to name this? I have no idea what I would name this. I have no idea what it should be named. I have no idea how to come up with a name. I always suck at coming up with a name. It's going to be the worst thing in the world because I'm never going to come up with a good enough name. I both knowingly and unknowingly put extensive amounts of pressure on myself because I was trying to figure out any reason possible to let it die. And, I will say, honestly, I will say that the holidays came. The first teaser for the documentary came out August of last year. The first teaser came out August of last year. And from there, nothing. Because I was like, okay, you know what? It's going to come out this time. It's going to come out this time. And it's just like, okay, I'm going to let it go. I'm going to let it simmer, blah, 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 blah. And I just kept coming up with excuse after excuse after excuse after excuse as to why it shouldn't, why, let me keep putting it off. Let me keep putting it off. I don't need to make another teaser. I don't want to do it. I'm doing other things. And honestly, I started on YouTube, going insane into YouTube right around the time that I started hyping up the documentary. And it's good that I waited because hype died down because of the holidays. Hype died down because of the holidays. I also fixated on both the book and the documentary at the same time because I thought with the ball rolling with the documentary, then I could shift gears and get the ball rolling with the book as well. But the holidays curtailed both of them. And it just got to the point where I needed to step up and stop creating excuses. I needed to step up and get it done because otherwise it would never come out. Otherwise I would never look at it and say that I have this done, that I can technically call myself a documentarian because I created a documentary. I created something and saw it through to the end. And April 10th, that's exactly what's going to happen. April 10th, that is exactly what's going to happen when we see it through to the end. With that being said, we got a little bit more to talk about in part 2. I'm going to stick with WWE 2K22, but let me know down in the comment section below if you prefer something like this for this type of video, or if you prefer me just doing it, me right in front of the camera, talking to you guys personally, and doing it that way. Either way, let me know down in the comment section below, because I'm going to do variations of both. I am going to do variations of both, but let me know down in the comment section below your preference. And with that being said, I will keep you guys up to date on everything having to do with the documentary, as March is our last run through with promotion for the Twitch project. But I will see you in the next video.